𝗪𝗂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 major philosophers. I can't say that I'm particularly specialized in any one particular field. I think where I'm kind of gravitating towards now is trying to understand why some people perceive the world through one particular lens and others perceive the exact same world from a completely different perspective. Even though they could be shown the exact same evidence, it's incredible to me where two individuals could see the exact same information on a television screen or a news broadcast. And one person will interpret it completely one way and another person will, interpret it in a completely different way. And it draws me sometimes to what was it? I think it was Plato's allegory of the cave. Are you familiar with that?
Of course.
Yeah. And it's almost as if, we're staring inside a cave and we only see the shadows that are being, cast from a light source behind us. And then, there's obviously reality somewhere. I mean, that's casting the shadows. There's no doubt that something is casting the shadows. There's a light source, yet the shadows that are dancing upon the cave may or may not look like that which is in reality behind us, casting those shadows. It's interesting that people interpret these shadows in different ways. And, let's just say over the last few years, it's been a very, very interesting, world that we've all lived in. And, things that we never thought would be possible in terms of, how society was pushed along in certain areas in terms of, social distancing and, lining up for food in the supermarket, things that we would have absolutely never thought would be possible in our lifetimes just seem to have happened. And again, it's not pro or con or anything regarding those measures. I'm just saying how easy it was for people to kind of adapt to a completely new reality. Versus what they were used to for their whole entire life. And it struck me as very, very odd how little resistance there was to certain things. And anyways, it just kind of brought me down another rabbit hole of trying to understand, the differences between people and their ability to be, to understand and be influenced by external sources. So that's kind of been my focus for a little while now anyways, just trying to understand why people behave the way they do. So I know that kind of went around the question without, particularly answering it, but
yeah, well, because you're on your search, because it's a search. It's not a final destination.
No.
Hence why you can't necessarily pinpoint it. But you're right. You're spot on for that. It happened so quick. I happen to have been in Sweden during the whole pandemic for the most part, and they did not have lockdown. And so the stories and things that I was hearing them secondhand from friends and people saying they haven't left their house and everything. I was living normally. There was less people, but I was living normally. And Sweden got a lot of shit for it at the time. And, history will still kind of tell what was right, but, it's looking to start to see that potentially that they had certain things right. There was some bad stuff. I'm not going to comment as if I know every single statistic and data point to make a decision, but it does seem that they got some things correct. Whereas the initial reaction for a lot of people was, maybe even batshit crazy initially. So, but at least on that, it was crazy to me how normalized everything just got for those people. Yeah, no, I'm stuck here on this, and we just do this now, and this is how it is now. And it is crazy when you look at as a global society, we were all doing one thing, and then no questioning part of that does also worry me a little, because I find that with the amount of influence, certain things from social media, to just the ability and how rapid things and these messages and ideas can spread now and so far, how little questioning goes into what, if that's good, should we be doing this? The individual idea, I just find it so necessary for all people to have that, that understanding of know thyself and question and rational thinking, at least for yourself towards a certain way.